and all. Happy to see you all. Welcome to this year's first edition of This It's About Time podcast. I know it's been a minute since we had a recording, but this being the first episode of the year 2024, I'm really excited to be having this conversation with you all. Very grateful to see you all in the new year. It's not something that we should take for granted, but also glad that you all have an opportunity to make the year the best that it can be. We all have our aspirations, our desires for the new year, and I pray that each and every one of us is already on the trajectory and the pathway to make this year an amazing one, and one where we get to fulfill the deepest desires of our hearts and that we get things done right. Right into it, I think in the element of starting the new year, a lot of us who are parents are on that journey of a transition with our young ones who are either joining new classes, some who have joined junior secondary school, others who are in their final year of high school. And there's lots of anxiety in the household around performance. We've just recently seen the results released from KCSE and KCPE examinations, a lot of celebrations across the board, lots of challenges for people who are expecting different results. Nothing new there. Those are things that we've always seen. But then again, it's just a reminder that grades are grades. Grades, yes, will help us get and position ourselves for better opportunities, be it to be enrolled into a university, fast direct entry as they call it. But they also present immense opportunities for families to have candid conversations around what does the future hold. Now, the reason why I want this to be the first topic of the year is so that as we as parents go through the year that is 2024, and we have children who are preparing to transition into higher education, that we have some consideration about the reality of the things and the dynamics that our young people are dealing with. Last year, I had an opportunity to join a co-author of a book that we've written around career choices for young people, which is called Career Choices, What is the Best Career for You? This book is available at Textbook Center and many other leading bookshops in the country. So grab a copy if you have a child who is in the process of either transitioning or preparing to join university. And some of the conversations that we had during this career talk really got me thinking and reflecting back on my journey as a parent of a young girl who has had aspirations for building a fruitful and fulfilling career for herself, and dealing with the challenges thereof around helping her make decisions around what to focus on, what university or college to choose, and here we are. So I think one of the things that really got to me as we had this conversation with these girls last year was that a number of them reached out after the session to have conversations one-on-one around some challenges that they were having at family level. Some of them came and said, my parents want me to be a doctor. We have a history of a family that are all doctors. I am not interested in doing medicine, but my family is really pushing me to pursue a career in medicine, and I have no interest. And any attempts that I've made to speak to my parents around my interest into doing something else have not been received well, and my parents continue to insist that I should pursue a career in medicine. That was one. I think another example of a girl who came to me after the session in distress was, I want to become an artist. I want to pursue a career in fashion design. My mother doesn't think that makes sense. It doesn't seem to her that this is a career that could be fulfilling or bring in money and resources, but yet it is what I deeply desire in my heart to pursue. And because I also do not know the context, the family context of where these girls are coming from, and at that moment had not had a chance to hear from their parents to understand their perspective, I really walked away there from that session with a heavy heart, because I can see that these girls are really struggling to straddle between what they desire to do and what the family expectations are. And I know that's a reality for many of us as parents. We want our children to succeed, and our definition of success unfortunately, isn't always relatable to the definition of success or career pursuits for our young ones. And I think that's where we as parents need to sort of check ourselves, because we have grown up, if you've grown up in my generation, we grew up knowing that the careers that really will make you money are, you're either going to be a doctor, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be a teacher, those very well established sort of careers. But we have a generation of young people that, if we've seen anything, that are making money through so many different innovative ways, including things that did not exist when we were even thinking through or trying to imagine what our careers are. You have your influencers, as much as we may have challenges there, but you have people who have built a career and are making loads of money just from being able to document their journeys, their day-to-day experiences, the things that they're doing, opening up their world to others, and that in itself is bringing them money. There are arguments on both sides around the viability and sustainability of such an endeavor, but it just goes to show that the things that we've always held on to as beliefs around what is a promising and fulfilling career is continuing to change, and it will continue to change. So therefore, our dynamics around engaging our young ones and helping them define what they would like to do, what they would like to pursue, and therefore what areas of study they should pay particular focus to, are completely different from what they were for us. So I think, based on my experience as a parent, and this is purely based on my experience, but also with the reality of what I've seen happening around us, is that our young ones really do rely on us to help shape their choices. But that's what it is. It's to shape it. It's not to make these choices for them. It's just to shape their choices. And I think we often fall into the pitfall as parents, where we want them to be what we weren't. Yeah, what we weren't. If I wanted to be a doctor and somehow I did not make the grades, this child I'm going to leave my desired career through my child. And I know there may be sort of urban legends, but you've had stories of people who've gone to uni, gotten a degree in an area that their parents really wanted them to pursue, and then they're like, here, there's your degree, I'm going back to uni or to school to pursue what I want. We really don't want to be doing those things. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of resources. We really want to help our children to navigate and make the right decisions based on what their deep interests are. And that's why I really, really do encourage all of you to get this book, especially if you have children who are navigating those decisions. Because right now it will really come down to the issue of what is their passion. I think that should be the first thing. What are these children really passionate about? If they could do one thing for the rest of their lives, what would that one thing be? So that's one place to start. But then the other thing as a parent that you should be telling your children is, when they think about what the market opportunities are for them to pursue that passion, what does it look like? Is it something that can make money? Is it something that can propel them from one level to another? And that's where you sort of do your market analysis, right? And then the other thing would be, so what skills would be required for you to actually live out your passion and be profitable and marketable in an ecosystem, in the larger ecosystem? And those are the sort of the three key issues which have been summarized in this book as the Rexer formula for career success. And those are the things to think about. Those are the conversations we should be having with our children right now, not about us as parents coming forcefully to our children and saying, you must be a doctor because there's a history of us being doctors in the family. I mean, it's good if that's what you want to carry on as your family legacy, but how does this leave this young one feeling? Do you want them to get into a career that leaves them feeling so unfulfilled each and every single day, from depriving them of the joy that needs to come with them being able to wake up in the morning and go to work and be excited about it. I think those are some of the things we really need to think about as parents as we sort of usher our children into this next phase of their life. We're here, guides. We're here to offer them support as they pursue their interests and the things that will really give them joy. I think we cannot underscore the importance of living happy lives, and because you're going to spend quite a lot of your life, productive life, pursuing a career and pursuing something to help you make money, then let it be the thing that brings you joy. We have learned, some of us have learned this much later in our lives, but it doesn't mean that we need to put our children through sort of that same difficult learning journey to get there. If there are lessons that we've learned around how to navigate and make career choices and decisions, let us pass on those lessons to our children. Let us prepare them for what the workforce is. Let us remind them the importance of pursuing a career on one hand, but still being a productive member of society in so many other ways, including building connections with family, building connection with their friends, finding a hobby, finding something that keeps them fit and active, and not just chucking it all down to being successful because you're bringing in a 6-7 figure salary at the end of the month or at the end of the year. So that said, I really hope that this is food for thought for us as we start out in this new year and as we have these conversations up through the year with our young ones, especially those who will be making decisions on what subjects to pursue. Let us have this conversation quite early on, so then even as they think through what the future holds for them, it's never too early when they're making subject choices as early as from 1 or 3, whatever that will be. Let them have this insights. Let's open up our living rooms and our dining tables to having candid conversations with our children and listening to them. I think that's what, if there's anything I took away from the career talk that we had last year, as I mentioned earlier, is that we parents do not listen. We're not listening. We will hear what the child is saying and it will be in and out because ultimately in your mind you've already made up your mind around what you want to see as the outcome. Let us listen to our children. Let us ask them questions and challenge their way of thinking by providing them more insights that will help them in making informed decisions. Let's just open up the spaces for us to have these candid conversations with our children, and I really truly believe that we will all be better for it. So thank you all for tuning in to this first episode of 2024, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Asanteni and be blessed.